I would like to raise the issue of what's taken place over this last week to a fortnight, and especially this last week, how they have upped the ante. Now, it's not with the activity, it's with the death threats that they're issuing, the bomb warnings that they're putting out. These scumbags just think now that by making a phone call that they can have the same effect. Well, I want to send a message to them. You ain't going to get away with it this time. If you are going to threaten ordinary folk living in their homes, well, we're going to come and pick at your homes. You are threatening ordinary men and women who are out trying to do a day's work by ringing them up saying there's a bomb under their car or there's an attempt to murder them or whatever, so that they have to change their whole lifestyle. If from now on somebody is murdered or maimed in this part of the world or in any part of Northern Ireland, the blame lies with the Chief Constable and the senior ranking officers within the PSNI and the Secretary of State, because they will not give us the security as a community that we deserve. They have betrayed the people of this country. They've left us wide open for attack, and basically these animals can roam our roads and our streets at will. The police can't even go out. When they do hear about them being on the streets, they can't even go out to them. The whole peace process has become so laughable in this country that there's no lengths that Sean Woodward and the British government, and especially our Chief Constable and the high ranking officers within the PSNI, won't go to make it look as if there's peace. They're turning their head away from what is going on in Northern Ireland. Basically, it's peace at any price. In other words, you can go out and threaten and beat each other and shoot each other and blow each other up, but don't let on to the rest of the world. Well, you tell that to the families that are living in fear of their lives, or the families that have been blown up or shot or pattered bombed or intimidated nightly. You tell that to the families and tell that to the rest of the world. But no, you would rather keep some type of peace process a great example to the rest of the world, but haven't helped the rest of the world if they use Northern Ireland as an example for peace. That's all I can say about it. But I want to put this to the Chief Constable. If anybody is murdered or maimed in South Armagh, we will hold you responsible, because you are the man that's in charge of security. You and the Secretary of State, nobody else. And the people who are living in fear of their lives. Just today we had another 3 phone calls from people who've been threatened by these scum, where the police have called at their doors to say that there's a threat on their lives, and they hand them a sheet of paper and walk away. Don't tell them who, what, where, when, or anything else. So from now on, every time something happens, it'll not be the Republicans that will be condemning for what's going on. It'll be the PSNI, and I don't mean the ordinary rank and file. I mean the Chief Constable and his senior staff and the Secretary of State and the Prime Minister, because every drop of blood spilled from now on is on your hands, so on your heads be it. The other thing I'd like to raise is there was a bit in the paper this morning about smuggling, about the great cooperation there is going on between North and South. Yeah, it's that great that they're not catching anybody, and the smuggling is still running ripe. Well, all of the IRA smugglers have not been touched, and it looks like they're not going to touch them. You have made a deal to leave the IRA alone. Why don't you just come out and admit that you shall go after individual smugglers, small time boys, but you will not touch the IRA, because you haven't recovered. You've recovered nothing in South Armagh, and I would challenge you to make me out to be a liar.